Misguided Meeples podcast with your hosts, Erik.
How do you like bats, Natty?
So at that point, I don't know what the black lobster, what the black
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good.
And Natty.
They're no longer patients. They are now victims to a crime of dentistry. Apparently was very acrobatically sound.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Hey everyone and welcome. I am Natty.
And I'm Erik.
And this is the Misguided Meeples podcast, having conversations about the wackiest and most bizarre news of the week.
We're back.
We are indeed.
Episode 3.
And we're starting strong with a very strange one. You ready?
No, we gotta do show news first, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm too excited. I
have my voice back, so that's part of show news this week, at least. So we do have a Twitter now. We will be using that to link some of the stories that we cover week to week. So we are at Misguided Meeple. Follow us for all the links that we cover here in this podcast. And maybe some ones we don't. Who knows? We are on iTunes and Podbean. If you're on iTunes, you already know that. But we are also on Podbean, and we're working on other sites like Spotify and Google Play. So yeah, and we're also working on our art. We will keep you posted on that. What if that's just like a meme? We just go through the entire podcast and we just don't ever do artwork. We just like have our Times New Roman word as like, Misguided Meeples as the cover.
And then just every episode promise artwork that will never come.
That'd be something.
There's a signature.
So yeah, I covered show news. Natty, let's go into the weird, wacky news of this week. I hear you got one story for me to start off.
Yes. So, we're starting with Georgia school reinstates paddling to punish students.
It's a paddling.
We're working with new equipment here. I have a soundboard. Hey, I can fuck around with sound.
It's going to be abused.
It's going to be very much abused.
Yes.
So yeah.
Much like children in Georgia school systems.
Exactly.
And there's a tie-in.
There's a nice tie-in between my soundboard and Georgia children at this charter school. So let us know what's going on here.
All right, so a kindergarten through 9th grade charter school that, funnily enough, is named Georgia School of Innovation and Classics, considering, is going back to paddling, which weirdly it goes into specifics as to what that is in case you're unfamiliar. I think this is ping pong. Spanking a child on behind with wooden board. Fairly straightforward.
I love how they had to specify that in the news story. It was kind of like one of those things that was kind of self-explanatory if you think about it.
You would think, but the northern people born in the 90s, they don't know what paddling is.
I mean, I know what a paddling is.
Well,
and so do you. I don't think you've been paddled before.
Well, not as a child. Oh yeah, that's right. So they sent out permission forms to the parental populace at large, and 100 replied, 1/3 of which giving permission to have their kids beaten in school.
That is way larger of a ratio than I thought. Like I like maybe it's just because it's Georgia. Maybe that's why it's way. I don't know. I feel like that ratio is just way too large of a ratio in 2018. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know what the Georgia political climate is, but I guess this news story is letting us know what that is.
I don't know, man. They heat
in
those
regards
weird
to
things
discipline.
to people.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Well, apparently, the superintendent said there was a time where capital punishment was kind of the norm in school, and you didn't have the problems that you have, whatever those problems are.
Very unspecified about the problems. I mean, what is this, 1950? Like, we hitting people with rulers on their nuns hitting people with rulers on their knuckles.
So, although they do not go into specifics as to the student offense, they do go into detail as to how said paddling will take place. A student will be taken into an office behind closed doors. Already a bad start.
I feel like that's kind of an invitation to like molest a child.
Well, yeah. Or to maybe be a little over exuberant with your paddling.
Right. But I mean, like, you're not going to do this in front of the children as well. So, I mean, like, it's a lose-lose situation. It's like you can bring the child back and do it in private, but then you can also get convicted or accused of molestation. But on the other end, if you do it in front of all these children, it's just like goddamn barbaric.
Well, that's a status norm, doesn't it?
I know. It's just like, in the army. In the army times, what am I saying?
I don't know. It's
in the
public
army
humiliation.
Yeah, it's like World War II. What they did with deserters. They killed any deserters.
Right.
What am I talking about?
I wasn't going to question it.
I completely disrailed this conversation. Disrailed. Okay, fuck me. I moved my microphone far away from my face.
So clearly the solution is one thing. If you can't take them behind closed doors and, do whatever with them behind closed doors, and you can't do it in front of the other children as to not give off a hostile student environment, your only choice is to beat them in front of other faculty so that it is witnessed that they were simply beaten, not molested, preferably charge them an audience fee, and then you raise funds for the school. Perfect.
That seems fair.
I think so.
I mean, they always teach you that at any kind of like camp counseling thing where you need to have like an adult supervisor with you whenever you like are one-on-one with the child.
Yeah.
Which is smart, but I mean, like, at the same time, it's kind of creepy.
Oh, it is. But at the same time, you learn that in camp. They tell you straight up, if you're going to hit the kid, make an audience pay for it.
No, that was not the point I was trying to make with that statement. I'm just going to be on the record and saying
it's irrelevant.
That was not what I was trying to say.
What kind of camp do you go to, pansies?
Okay.
So, all the better. The students will place their hands on their knees or piece of furniture and will be struck on the buttocks with a paddle. And here are your parameters for that. That paddle must be 24 inches in length, 6 inches in width, and 3/4 inches in thickness. Because that's all important.
I love how specific they get into. They're just like, this paddle, it's a top of the line paddle. Beautiful paddle. 24 inches long, 6 inches in width. 3/4 of an inch of a handle. Did I get all that right? I'm not even had the story in front of me.
3/4. Close enough.
Close enough. This is a top of the line paddle. This right here, kids. This will spank children.
Yeah. Real Amazonian mahogany. A tree that grew for hundreds of years made this fine quality paddle.
Real Californian redwood.
Yeah, that's right.
The hardest of woods.
Here's the other thing. So it says students will be paddled after their third offense. Fair enough. 3 strikes, you're out. That's fair game.
Right.
What I find amusing is, considering our previous conversation about doing this behind closed doors, is they phrased it as no more than 3 licks should be given. Feel like they could have phrased that better.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate phrasing there. No more than 3 licks will be given. Might want to rephrase that one.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Oh, see, look, this actually might relate to your ratio issue there. It says here, although the policy has not been used widely in schools for years, it is legal in Georgia and 19 other states to paddle children. I do want to
figure out what the other 19 states might be.
You got to wonder, right? I feel like a lot of them are probably below the Mason-Dixon line.
I would imagine. We'll have to look that up after the show.
Yes,
maybe we'll post that to Twitter. It'll be one of our first Twitter. That'll confuse so many people. They'll just go to our Twitter feed and just be like, the first Twitter post, just like all the states
Paddle children.
that allow paddling of children.
Well, now we can't preface it with anything. We just got to throw it out there.
Yeah, no context. If you didn't listen to the podcast, you don't deserve the context of that tweet.
That's right.
I'm going to do that now.
Be satisfied in your confusion. No. So, parents who opt out of paddling, oh yeah, there's repercussions, must agree to up to 5 days of suspension as punishment for their children.
One thing I've always wondered about schools, how is suspension a punishment?
They don't have to. I don't get it.
They don't have to go to school.
If you're a bad child, you get more days off. The logic it just befuddles me. I don't get it.
How is suspension a punishment? Like I just don't get it. Like why would that be a thing? Like, oh, you get to go home for 5 days. Do you want to get spanked on the ass 3 times? Or do you want to go home for 5 days? I feel like that's a pretty easy, especially if you're a kid in school, like K through 9. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go home for 5 days. Who cares?
Yeah, come on. It's ice cream or broccoli. I take the ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, for real. Like what is up with that? Why would that be? I feel like you're not giving the proper the proper stick here in the carrots and sticks conversation.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to good old-fashioned detention? Detention's boring and it wastes your time. That's perfect punishment.
I know, right? I mean, like, geez. Yeah, anything else with this story?
No, just semantics.
Another bizarre news story for you, Natty, this week. A guy that really should have had a lot of foresight. Novelist who wrote How to Murder Your Husband charged with murdering husband.
I know, you can't not laugh.
It is beautiful. So this woman, Nancy Crampton Brophy, has been charged with the murder of her husband, Daniel Brophy. She is a self-published author. You can go and see her Amazon book list, which we will go and review after I cover the story. But she is the author of romantic suspense novels, and in a 2011 blog post outlined various motives and methods of killing her husband, or killing a husband in quotes there. To me, if you don't want to raise suspicion on killing someone or killing a spouse, I wouldn't write about it in a blog post.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot of that from, famous serial caught because he talked about killing people in blog.
Yeah, no, I feel like you can keep that to like a regular like kind of journal or something, or
scrawled on some animal skin in your back garage or something creepy like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like every murder mystery serial killer file that I've ever listened or watched has always kept some kind of diary, but never public. So
yeah.
This doesn't seem smart. But so last week, this was written on September 12th, so earlier this week. Last week, police in Portland arrested 68-year-old Nancy Crampton Brophy. She is charged with the murder and in the death of her 63-year-old husband, Daniel Brophy. She apparently killed him, or allegedly killed him, with a gunshot. It doesn't say here where.
It says that he was killed in the kitchen, but that's all I know.
Oh, yeah, he worked
Culinary Institute, right?
Yeah, he worked for the Oregon Culinary Institute.
So he was killed in Oregon.
Yes, correct. First responders attempted to revive him, but weren't successful. And so once police started investigating this, they came to the conclusion that this woman clearly had motive and had written about it publicly, about killing her husband, at least a couple times.
Just a couple times. That's fine.
Yeah, just a couple times.
Like once or twice, we forgive you.
Right. So, yeah, there was a interesting little quote somewhere here. So she wrote self-published novels, like I said earlier. One named The Wrong Husband and one named Girl Most Likely To.
It's pretty much paperback airplay porn with a little bit of terror aspect thrown in there.
Yeah. Every romance novel cover that you've ever seen in the back of a convenience store or a grocery store,
Yes.
it's that.
Not one fails to have a half-naked man.
Oh, yeah. They're all half-naked men, and it's hilarious. So, she made an essay on her blog, which is now private. Unfortunately, I really tried. I logged into an old WordPress account and everything, tried to do some my investigative knowledge for this, but I could not find it. But we do have some quotes from that. In 2012, she told the blog, quote, "Murder, mayhem, and gore seem to come naturally to me, which means my husband has learned to sleep with one eye open," she told the blog.
It's not concerning at all.
No.
And she didn't take his name. I don't know if that plays into it.
I don't think it does, but I mean...
Just progressive. Well...
It's very progressive. They got the hyphen in there.
That's true.
Very,
that's true.
very hyphenated. It's a very progressive thing to do nowadays.
Didn't save him.
It did not save him. No, it did not save him at all. I do have a couple other quotes from her. Oh, we also have some quotes from that blog post entitled "How to Murder Your Husband." It's no longer public, like I said. But as a romantic suspense writer, I spend a lot of time thinking about murder and consequently about police procedure. After all, if murder is supposed to set me free, I certainly don't want to spend any time in jail. And let me say clearly for the record, I don't like jumpsuits, and orange is not my color. The essay described a range of possible motives for murdering her husband, ranging from avoiding a financial hit in a divorce to infidelity by a lying, cheating bastard, and even the possibility that the wife is a professional contact. Oh my God. Reading is not my strong suit. We're only like
it's
episode
subtle.
3, and reading is not my strong suit. You can clearly tell. So yeah. Yeah, she has a range of motives here, and clearly has a lot of things going on in her brain about murdering her spouse. Also, this article weighed the pros and the cons of the different methods that she could murder her husband with.
Oh.
Guns, loud, messy, require some skill. Knives, really personal and close up. Blood everywhere, ew. Very insightful from
Yeah, that is good. That's good.
Very insightful. Yeah, it just reeks that like this woman did it. I don't know. And apparently the couple had been married for 27 years. And the husband was a lead instructor at a culinary institute where he was remembered as with an offbeat sense of humor and a creative approach to teaching. Basically, the police got tips once a neighbor came to them and said that she had been acting very weird after his death and did not show any signs of being upset or sad, and also had a conversation with that said neighbor that alleged that the police suspected her of killing her husband. And after that, they really focused their investigation on her.
From what I understand, the only admission of any sort of grief is that Facebook post she put up on her page, which pretty much stated that she's in shock and was not ready to take phone calls. But she said all of the post in the most calm, calculated, rational manner humanly possible, which I wouldn't really expect from someone that distraught. Frankly, if I was that distraught, I don't think I'd be on Facebook at all.
No, I would agree with you on that one. this is way too calculating. The Facebook post is linked in this article here, but it is very calculated, like lawyer-ish calculated. Like it's very wordy in its explanation on what's going on.
I mean, she was a writer, but judging by the brief synopsis that we've been reading from her various books, I don't think carefully thought out, calculated wording is really her strong suit.
No. Definitely not. So yeah, this is the woman. This is the story of this woman. More to come on her, I guess. She's only been convicted and arrested, I see. And at this point in time, perhaps more to come in the upcoming weeks and months and perhaps years. I have no idea.
Years.
Maybe years. I mean, all these things take so long to do. It's surprising to me how long a murder conviction has to take.
It's true. It could be one of those cold cases. I mean, if I were going by appearances, she kind of has like those dull, dead shark eyes. I'd say she probably did it, but I mean, what do I
know? She does look kind of interesting. I wonder how many books she's sold. I wonder that. Like, that's one thing that I really...
Yeah, I tried to find a net worth. I couldn't find anything, so I don't think she's on the New York Times bestseller list, but...
No, she's self-published. She's self-published through Amazon.
Oh, is she?
So all those books that we were looking at earlier are self-published books. If you have some time, I would recommend go looking at those books. Those books have some great summaries. I don't know if we're gonna have time to read them here, but they have some great summaries to them.
Although now you mention it, there was a lack of professionality in the whole system.
Yeah, for sure. There's lots of grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes. Yeah, I do love this one. This is a summary from the book The Wrong Cop. The Wrong Cop. Dory can't believe her ex-husband is back and not in a useful way. All she wants is a Mexico vacation littered with gold-skinned cabana boys and a serious amount of tequila. She's earned it.
This will be on the Oprah reading list anytime now.
Oh, yeah. Her home, her only sanctuary, her home is burglarized, and the police are eyeing her with suspension. What? That's clearly wrong. That's supposed to be suspicion.
I feel like her editor isn't very good.
I think she's self-edited.
Yeah, I think so. You're right.
So it's herself. I mean,
with them dead shock eyes.
I wonder if she uses that picture. I wonder what. Actually, do you want? She probably has that picture up. Let's not really a visual.
If that mugshot is the picture in the back of the book.
Oh, it's not. It's this.
Oh, of course. It's a happy, much younger picture. Naturally, okay.
Oh, much younger. Yeah, this is easily like 40s, like late 40s picture. And obviously now she looks like a 63-year-old woman. So yeah.
And angry.
Very, very angry. So we'll be linking that story on our Twitter feed. You can go look. We'll also link her Amazon book list if you want to go read some of the synopsis of the great stories she written. She has one series called The Wrong. The
Wrong many things. There's a lot of wrong things in these titles.
It's the wrong spelling, the wrong grammar. No, it's a series called Wrong Never Felt So Right, and it literally is the most funny thing to read. If you want to go read, do some extracurriculars, that is a good read. Not the book, the synopsis of the book.
Oh yeah, no, don't read the book.
I don't recommend reading the book, although it does have 4.5 stars. I think I got my new reading list here now.
Hey, it's $0 on Kindle. All you Amazon users, jump on that.
Yeah, if you're interested in reading some romance novels with Navy SEALs, cops, and crap, where is it? And gold-skinned cabana boys.
Oh yes.
Feel free. And copious amounts of tequila, because you're going to need that to finish these books.
That's a necessity.
Oh, yes.
And take advantage now. Once she gets convicted, these things are going to skyrocket in price.
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah, be a commodity then. All right, I got one more to head off this episode. Are you ready?
I don't know if I'm ready, actually.
Don't worry, it's a much lighter note than possibly killing your own husband and writing about it on a blog.
Ooh.
Yeah,
lighter than that?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to find something that cheery, but I think I came close.
Okay.
So, this is about the grocery store employee who managed to eat $9,200 worth of ham. Mind you, not all at once, over an 8-year period. But still, ham's not that expensive.
No, definitely not. That is quite interesting. Another week here on the Misguided Meeples podcast, we're reviewing a news story about food and theft of food.
Yeah, that's becoming a running theme.
Lobsters to ham. I like it.
We're going to have to find another one now.
I know. We're just going to have to keep this trend going. Our last story of every week has to find like some food thefts.
It's going to be hard. We're going to drain the well in this one, coming up with all the food theft related crimes in the world.
I know. That's going to be really hard to do.
I know. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen just for you guys.
We'll go out there and create crime if we have to.
Yeah. Just stay tuned at your local Whole Foods.
So anyway, let's get into the story. What's going on?
All right. So turns out pretty reasonably, she was eating multiple slices a day over 8 years. And that adds up to roughly 260 pounds of ham.
That's a lot of ham.
We looked that figure up. That's accurate.
That is certifiably accurate. You can quote the Misguided Meeples on that.
Yeah. Good luck with that. So, I mean, first of all, doesn't seem like that unreasonable a thing. I have definitely worked in jobs in the food service industry and eaten some of the product.
Eaten some of the product of the food service industry?
Yeah. I keep that vague.
Keep that as vague as possible.
Yeah, I'm trying. Let your minds run amok.
I am.
I
am. My mind has run amok.
Yes,
right
good. That's the goal. So this woman was arrested for this, which, I mean, to an extent is fair. But you know what? The thing that gets me, I feel like if I ate several pieces of ham every single day, I'd get tired of ham. This woman never slowed down.
Apparently not. Like every day for 8 years, ate like 5 slices of ham. Like, I guess she's on like some kind of... That's just way too much ham. I don't know.
Well,
I couldn't do it.
Do you think they would have noticed it like, well, she weighed 120 pounds when she started here, but it's over these last 8 years. I don't know what's happening. It's always out for kidney stones. It's just like thing after thing.
Yeah, we don't have any confirmation on how much she weighed or how much she is weighed now, but...
and maybe she burns it up. I don't know.
I can't imagine that does very good things to your figure.
Oh yeah, even if not, it can't be healthy. That's a lot of red meat.
Oh my god, yeah, every day eating cold cuts, ham. Oh my god, that's a lot of red meat. I would not recommend that in your diet.
Well, luckily for her, felony charges are unlikely.
Yeah, it was reported earlier this week that she would face felony charges, but I think the sheriff's office went on Facebook and said that probably not gonna happen that way.
So all she has to do is wait out like 20 years. Wait, no, it's 50 years. What's the statute of limitations?
I don't know what the statute of limitation is on ham.
On ham
stealing.
specifically.
No, I'm not pretty versed on ham law, but if anyone is out there and could help us out, let us know.
We will need a copy of your degree.
Yeah.
Just for validation.
Ham law.
The more creatively photoshopped, the better. But they did arrest her. What do you do with someone who's being arrested on stealing ham?
I think they arrested her, but they are not going to charge. At least when the information gets to the prosecutor, they will not charge.
Are they holding her?
With a felony. I have no idea. I have no idea if they are or not.
Well, you know how awkward it's gonna be sitting in that cell. Be like,
Yeah,
what are you in here for? I shanked a guy. What are you in here for? I ate a lot of ham.
I ate so much ham.
Like you can't even imagine.
Felony levels of ham consumption.
Oh, I gotta find that one in the books.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Hey, what are you gonna do?
And the public's response to this was pretty much that no one thought it was a real news story.
Yeah, I didn't really think this one was a real news story either. I mean, like, it's one of those things where someone eats a bunch of ham on the job. You know, they probably get fired, but they probably don't get charged with a felony.
Well, I mean, maybe if you ate 260 pounds of ham in one day.
That's true.
But you'd probably be in the hospital, not the jail cell. I mean,
I don't think that's physically possible.
Well, it's certainly not good for you.
No, certainly not. So, yeah. That's it for me for news stories today. All I had was the murdered lady, or the murdered guy who got murdered by his lady, who was the least surprising news story of the week. And you had those two.
I'm still thinking about ham law diplomas.
Getting a degree in ham law. Well, if you would like to get a degree in ham law or join our conversation, email us at misguidedmeeplespodcast@gmail.com. The first part is not correct. We will not give you a degree in ham law, but
I will.
Or Natty will give you a degree in ham law.
It'll come on the mail in a plain sheet of printer paper, but it will be a degree in ham law.
That's fair. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I
hope I hope the listeners hold you to that too, Natty.
I'll make sure to rub some ham on it. It will smell like ham. We'll make that happen.
Any emails that come into misguidedmeeplespodcast@gmail.com that refer to ham law now are getting forwarded to you, and you need to do what you need to do with that.
I will do what I need to do for the sake of ham law. Ham law.
Or tweet us at misguidedmeeple at the Twitter machine. I can't speak right now. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done. Just fuck this shit. Thank you for joining this conversation. Talk to you all next week.
Bye now.
The music in our intro is Retro Future Clean, and the outro music you hear now is called Breakdown.
Both tracks were done by Kevin MacLeod at incomtech.com. If you would like to get in contact with the show, our email address is misguidedmeeplespodcast@gmail.com.
On Twitter, we are at misguidedmeeple. Follow us for show news and links to all the crazy news stories we covered in this week's episode.
And maybe even some bonus ones we didn't cover.
Gotta follow us to find out.